done with it. Fuck the viewers. No, I'm just kidding. I love the
I
viewers.
already put it.
I know. I know that you've turned it on.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I don't talk about the viewers like that all the time. Anyways, viewers, you guys are the best. We're all one, you know? Equal in every way, limitless in every way. I only get frustrated with the viewers that are dumb. I'm just kidding. Nobody's dumb. Nobody's dumb. We're all working with different processing systems, but each one of the processing systems that we're working with is just prone to navigate to whatever it is that we have authentically decided is efficient for us. And so each one of us has an amazing avenue of focus available that somebody else doesn't. So it's really tough to compare us, really. You know, maybe you learned about stuff that I don't care to learn about, but in some way that's totally awesome that you learned about it. You know, maybe I've learned about stuff you don't care to learn about. Eventually you will care to learn about the stuff that I have learned about, because it has to do with your consciousness and your eternity and the waking up from slavery, suffering, attachment, desire mentalities, illusory realities, you know. It's a completion sequence of all lives, you know. And now that may make you think that, you know, the completion of that is the fading away then into nothing because it's a completion. But plenty of times within the moment there are completions of cycles and then the continuation of cycles from that point forward. There's a beginning and an end occurring at the same time simultaneously upon all those things. So upon coming to the completion sequence where you liberate your being and free yourself from illusory consciousness, the veil of illusion that was clouding your judgment, your awareness, you know, giving you false images, things to believe in that were causing strife and pain and worry and all of these other things, and in a way that could be seen as imbalanced or unpreferable, you know, by the individual experiencing it. We can become free from this, you know, we can become free from so many things. We can become free from the need to receive in the mirror. Some of the hardest reflections, you know, in consciousness: war, famine, starving, concentration camps, sane fighting versus mentalities, you know. Eventually, upon examining ourselves, we can see that the reason for these reflections are literally because they directly reflect the way that we are being to ourselves internally. Now, this can bring up a lot of judgment for ourselves if we think, holy shit, I'm the cause of this. And that's where it's wonderful to seek realization. Because you could see that, yes, maybe you are the cause of this. But the you that is the cause of this is the greatest you could ever imagine. And it is the most intelligent you could ever even dream of. And that it is the most amazing, perfect blessing of you that you could ever know. And that it has done everything that it's ever done. It's a complete marriage of wisdom and compassion, of the epitome of these things. The male and the female, the phi ratio, the golden mean. Form and emptiness, emptiness is form. And always have they done these things. Has it done these things? Have you done these things for your highest benefit personally? And not just that you person, but the you that is all of you. So for this leaf here, and for this air here, and for that guy over there. And it's hard to see how it's all happening. It's hard to understand how it's all perfect, you know. It's hard to release ourselves from our own judgments that think that we know what the completion sequence of an event is. A lot of the times when I'm speaking, people will jump to the end as if they think that I've finished and I've said a complete thought. But it turns out that I have more to say, and if I have the next thing to say, even though that thing seemed to be confronting, the next thing I have to say will take away some of the confrontational energy from that particular statement. Now, if the moment I say a confronting energy, you stop and say, fuck this guy, then you'll never hear the thing that comes after it. And maybe you still say fuck this guy, but it would be good for you to be intelligent and aware enough to hear the thing that come after it to make sure you still want to say fuck this guy. Now, we've been discussing this morning just the path, what's been going on with us, what we're doing as a team, as some teamwork, communication. It was coming through a little bit easier before, but we're moving through all kinds of energies, so we'll just go ahead and do that now. Previously, I've been trying to hold on to a form in some way, very slightly. When I say hold on to something, I mean the sensitivity level in which I talk about when I look at something or lean towards a direction is so subtle, like nobody would ever notice it. You would notice somebody else's complete subtleness better than the subtlety I'm talking about. You know, it just seems to be non-existent what I'm talking about. But it's just such a slight, quick glance to where you could see where, like, oh, I could lean towards this story, or oh, I could lean towards this story. You know, I could lean this way or lean that way. I could lead into frustration. I could lead into anger. I can lean into sadness. Now, there's no reason to lean into these things. When you rest in between them and you sit here, you see all these stories, possibilities. You're like, okay, I could go this way, or I could go into this one, or I could go into this one, or I could go into this one. But we have this one here, present current. You know, and this one's real nice, and it's the center frequency, and so you can always feel the one come here. If there's nothing coming here, and you're just watching everything go around, you're like, you know, it's kind of far away, this, you know. Once you hit effortlessness, no force, even a thought that's just right here instead of here will not be close enough for you to want to play with it. You're like, you know, it's not really my word. Maybe there's a guy right here that's going to say those words, or over here somewhere in the future, or this angle somewhere, however it's going to wave and breeze with the rest of the sea. You know, maybe that line's for somebody over there, I don't know. Picking up a lot of antenna here. When you're empty, you get a lot of noise. Not really. It's actually quite amazingly silent and clear all the time. But you can, when opening up the channel, have periphery possibility. Now, that periphery possibility will be like the floaters in your eyes. You don't really notice the floaters. They're not very bothersome. Some people could have bother for some floaters. I have to imagine that the people that have the most bothersome floaters are simply people that have like a hypochondria about it, like an anxiety ridden about it. So they're like manic, depressive, or they're just crazy, insane thinking about the floaters all the time. They just it's killing them, the floaters. They hate the floaters. And so they notice them all the time. You know, they just can't help it. The moment they see a floater, they're just like, fixated. Where's that little bastard? Come over here, I'll get you. I don't know. I mean, there's actually like laser surgeries and stuff they can do to get the floaters out of your eyes. Some people just, they say, have a ridiculous amount, some kind of tissue that breaks away inside the eye that is now able to be seen, translucent nature. Interesting. So, you know, as I pick up the antenna of everything going around, you know, there's a center focus, and that's what we're all looking for here. You know, that's what Zen brings you to. You silence the monkey mind, and then you find your mind, where you are, the line that comes to you directly, your mind stream, what is happening for you personally. Why, once you enter a state of non-doing and non-action, there's still doing and action. Because there's karma occurring, you see. The body will still be here within the realm of karma. Karma is the movement of all things as one. So when this butterfly flaps his wings, we could say there's going to be a butterfly effect afterwards, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is at the exact same moment, a ridiculous amount of events are occurring in complete unison with the flap of those butterflies' wings. That the only way for that butterfly to flap its wings is with whatever is around it moving in coordinates with it to allow such a thing to occur. Now, right now, we look at consciousness as quite separate. and we see a lot of space in between us and other objects. And we're like, okay, I can move like this because it's air. It's dense, or less dense than what I am, so I just shove it out of the way. And that's cool. That's awesome. I dig that. That's super cool. That is something that is occurring. Now, when it comes to life, we have been assuming that everything is quite free in a certain sense, quite able to just move chaotically and all these things. Like, look at this. Look at all the sand. This is pretty cool. How awesome is that? Sand. Just falling through matter. Falling through. How does this sand even occur? Could you imagine everything in life balancing upon the falling of this sand? That'd be insane, right? How could everything do that? I'm saying that it would be hard for life to balance on this sand and its movement. It'd be pretty tough, But now for everything to not be separate and being one giant moving solid object that's already moving in unison with itself, it'd be quite easy actually for everything to be balanced on the sand, which it already is balanced upon. Everybody here, we're balanced on each other. Look at us. Oh, wow, this is crazy. Now, the way that this is falling through space is going to be quite strange, Right now, we can see, okay, it's definitely falling in straight lines and different patterns and different codes, but we don't see the energetic signature of what's happening subtly. So we're not seeing the spiraling toroidal field-style realities. We're not seeing the strings of the strands. We're not seeing how things connect to themselves in really amazing ways. This stuff is just so cool. Spiraling down, little vortexes and frequencies moving through all this amazing energetic weaving, everything bouncing around in the wall. Like why a little kid looks at keys and like, whoa, what's happening? All this rattling of energy. You're like, whoa, bro, that's crazy, man. And you get less, enamored by it as it becomes less shocking. Oh, that's how things work here. It's just cool stuff. I'm not really sure where we're going with that exactly. Anyways, so everything completely connected to itself. All I had to do was grab the sand to know where we were. Thank goodness we were able to find it through the grabbing of the sand. I guess I'm supposed to keep doing this sand thing. This is what I have to do now. This is the only way I can be in the moment. It's the only way I can stay focused. If I cut this out of my motion, then I cut out my life. That's weird. Anyways. So, what causes me to pick up the sand and do this? That's the craziest thing. I mean, it looks so fluid. It looks like there's no way, it's normal action. Nothing separate. Everything together. Karmas of all of life. Singularity. Solid matter. Like a whole bunch of tiny little hands moving my body. You're like, wait, but you choose to do this and you choose to do that. You choose to be slow, you choose to do this, you choose to be fast, you choose all of these things. And how do you know I choose? Oh, because you know you choose. Ah, you are the chooser. Okay. Well, how did you make your choice? Based on all of the information available to you, I guess. And how did that information come to you? Well, I mean, I guess if you were really intelligent, really smart, really scientific, really honest, we can look very deep back. When thought began. And when thought began is the start of the story. Is the beginning of when we created a dialogue that started to bounce on all the other dialogues of life that we came into contact with through our direct experience. We had our mother say no. We had our father say yes. We had this and this and this and this and this and this and all this different stimuli. We went to school. We saw Billy, and Billy said, fuck you. And then we saw Sarah, and she said, I love you. And then we saw all these different things. And all of these different stories have been bouncing. You had a conversation with Billy last week. Billy talked about this. You're now, this week, thinking about the conversation with Billy. You're now talking to somebody else because you're still thinking about the conversation with Billy. They say something that seems similar to the conversation with Billy. You now bring the conversation with Billy into that atmosphere. Now you guys are all hanging out, talking about whatever it is. Okay. They're adding stimuli. You're adding stimuli. Everybody's adding stimuli. When you go up to somebody and you say hello, what do they say in return? They say hello. Or this or that or whatever they say. But whatever they say determines what's going to be said next by you. Now, when they say fuck you, you've heard fuck you from your friends, and you've heard fuck you from enemies, and you've heard fuck you for so long that fuck you doesn't really matter to you anymore. And so now you don't care that they said fuck you. You just don't even respond to it in that way. You just gotta look at them, breathe, recognize the pattern, know that all of the other times that you've experienced that, it was experienced in this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, and that 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 way, and you've come to the determination of how it is you wish to deal with this energy. And so when you hear fuck you this time, unlike all the other times when you previously heard fuck you, because the first time you heard fuck you, you're like, what? Fuck me? No, fuck you! You know, all upset. This time, or maybe the first time you're like, huh, what does that mean? That guy said fuck you, what does that mean? Do you know what that means? What is he saying to me? Is he pissed off at me? What's going on? You have no idea. So, now, you're hearing the fuck you, and you respond based on all the other times you ever heard fuck you, and ever spoke about fuck you, or ever had anything to do with fuck you happen to you in your life. And if you have never experienced fuck you ever before, then this will be the first time that you get to respond to fuck you. And now you will have to figure out how you would respond to that. And the only way you'll respond to it is based on all the information that has come previous to you about every other information. Okay, well, the place I lived, nobody ever says fuck you. They never say anything mean to each other. So when this guy said fuck you, I didn't even know that he was even saying fuck you. I thought he was saying some kind of nice compliment to me. I was like, oh yeah, fuck you too, bud. Love ya. And he's like, what? Fuck me too? No, fuck you. And you're like, yeah. What the fuck are we talking about? Why do you seem mad? I thought we were happy. You're saying happy things, right? What's going on? I've never seen this before. Don't know what to do. Why does that guy act like that? Why doesn't he know what to do there? Everybody knows what to do. When a guy says fuck you and he's acting like an animal, like he wants to fight you, you know exactly what to do. This guy has no idea what's going on with him. Well, the karmas in his life didn't bring him into places where he would have the context for that situation. So this is the first time he's had that context, and here it is. Oh, geez. And so he has no idea how to respond yet. And if he does know how to respond, it's because he's come into contact with that energy before previously. How did he come into contact with that? Well, through the karmas of life again. When he was born, he started to cry. He saw his dad, he saw his mom, whatever. He saw things. He's trying to figure out what the things were he was seeing. And stimuli occurred. That nurse dropped him on his head. That was not expected. Who expected that? Who could have controlled that? He was a little baby. He couldn't have saved himself. He couldn't have stopped it. I guess it was just his karma. Little baby needed to be dropped on his head. Because he was dropped on his head, he never heard fuck you before. No, I'm just kidding. His parents took him to a spiritual community. And they kept him away from bad things. And so now, in this day in life when he was away from his parents and away from his spiritual community that coddled him because the nurse dropped him on his head when he was a baby, he now doesn't know what to do with fuck you. He's like, oh shit, what the hell is this? But you could say that this baby had some control, had some free will over his life. He had a choice that he had to make, a crossroads. Now everybody says he made the choice of his own free will. And this makes people fallible in a big way, makes people able to do right and wrong. You made the right choice, and you made the wrong choice. Now, everybody made a choice. Judgment can tell us whether it be right or wrong, good or bad, greater or lesser. And in the grand scheme of things, when everybody reaches the golden road and is completely liberated and enlightened from the suffering in which they've occurred and sees themselves to be the most amazing hero and bodhisattva, they will not be able to think downwardly about their consciousness as other people may perceive. Like, oh, you have been wrong this whole time. And here they are. Shining like gold. They're like, what do you mean? I've been an awakened Buddha. Or I've been fully amazing, surrendered, pure consciousness for the benefit of all beings. What are you talking about? I've never made a single wrong decision. I've only made the right decisions the whole time. They're like, even my wrong decisions. Eventually we'll see that we don't make decisions, and this is what we're talking about here. So eventually you see there's a crossroads. You've made a choice. But who made the choice? Your life made your choice. You say, no, I made my choice. No. everything that's happened to you, that created you, has made your choice. You have decided you are Ryan. You have decided you are Caroline. You have decided you are this. You have decided you are that. Why? Because your life has shown you who you are. But you are not that. You are not your person. You are not your ego identity. You are limitless, pure awareness. And so you do not know this. And so this is what you are. You tell yourself you're anything else. That's fine. Now, life created who you were. Every stimuli that you ever came into contact with gave you your first words, your language, your everything. The way that you speak, the way you act, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you like things, the way you don't like things, all of those things. Life gave that to you. Your experiences gave that to you, and no, you did not have control of your experiences. You think you had control. You're like, look, I stopped having experiences. It was my control. No. You were controlled by the karmas of your life. You were controlled by your emotions. You were controlled by all of the different stimuli that told you you needed to run and hide. That it was safe for you. That it was the most efficient and most beneficial thing for you. And so you did that. Whatever it was, some people think the most beneficial thing for them is killing somebody. But life made them think that. And now maybe after they do it, they find out, no, that was not good. That's not the most beneficial thing for me. And life made them see that too. And they did not one time come up with their own determination of energy, ever. Why would that guy feel bad about what he's done? Because he watched a movie when he was a young boy that showed him that what he was doing was wrong, and now that he's an old man doing it, he finally remembered the movie. He's like, why didn't he remember it before? Because it wouldn't have been in proper context, it would have been completely useless. But then right there at that moment, that's when. And what is going to happen to him now? He's going to share that awareness. How? Well, either through his authentic being, just being, walking around, or through speaking it, or whatever it is, but he's had a monumental thing, and he's had a large contrast, and now that's coming in, and we're going to give that teaching to the world. People think that they make choices, but your life has chosen for you what you will choose. Your heart, consciousness, knows you. It is you. It knows what you're going to choose. It can use your ego, it can use your lie, it can use your illusion to move you. And it is. It has created all of it. You can own it. Oh, it's my lie, my illusion. No. You've just been watching the whole time. You are born, and you are a watcher when you are born. You had dialogues occur. You thought you were the dialoguer. You are not. You are the watcher. You have not been dialoguing. You have been watching the dialogue. Why did I say this? Why did I say that? Because of all of the things. Every stimuli you've ever come in contact to. Why do you say brother man? Why do you say sister dude? Why do you say whatever it is that you may say? Because of all the previous context. I like that. I like this. I like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like this. But who chose for you why you didn't like these things? There's no reason to not like these things, so what's happening? Did somebody say to you, no, that's not a good thing, and then you started to shy away from it? Or was there just some random, I just don't like it? Why? But either which way, which of those things did you really have control over? Did you control when you stole the Santa Claus? You could say yes. I stole the Santa Claus. It was my fault. But why did you steal the Santa Claus? What were the energies present that caused you to steal the Santa Claus? Well, I really wanted the Santa Claus. My mom wouldn't give me it. I really wanted it. I must have it, I said to myself. Oh, so I kept it with me. Oh, how terrible. How long did you preempt that? Did you wake up as a small infant child, little baby, and then decide, I'm going to start planning my Santa Claus heist? No, you did not. It come upon you in the moment. Your feeling come over you. You can just say afterwards, oh, I'm so sorry, I was taken by my feeling. Almost like you didn't even do it. You can't even, you're like, I don't know how this has occurred to me. All of a sudden I was there in the moment and I was doing this thing. Everybody says that they're killing people, they're doing everything. They're like, I don't know, it come over me. Everybody. I don't know, it wasn't me then. The whole time it wasn't you. Before that, after that, it was never you. You're just a watcher. Everybody's just a watcher. What are we looking at here? Well, we have the ability to be here, yes. But how will you be here? You'll be here however the moment has created you to be here. You say, no, I will not do that. And then you'll be created again by the moment. And act like you're not. Because you'll say, oh, now I'm going to go against the moment. Well, then the moment has created the stimuli to cause you to be the kind of consciousness that would do that. And so now you'll do that. Okay. But everything created you that way. So you want to leave your form? If you do leave your form, it's because of all consciousness. It's because karma of life led you to do that. My karma has led me to awakening. I didn't have choice. But I was making many choices, so I will choose. I'll choose to do this and I'll choose to do that. But how would I have made my choice? It's what I prefer. Why do I prefer it? It feels the best. Why do I have a list of other things to compare to already, or something to figure out what feels best? Oh, I do. How did I get those? All of life gave them to me. I stumbled into that one. I fell into that one on accident. What? Oh. So go ahead and make your choice. It'll be based on all the karmas that came to you previous, and still won't be your choice. Go ahead with your free will. You want to be free, you can be free from all of the agitation, the identities with frequencies that are purely illusory and cause the need for frustration. You can come to settling in your consciousness, reach a state of freedom that's beyond form. You have to move with it. If you ever do get to freedom, be able to make your choice. You may find that you have no attachment to even making choices. It doesn't even matter to make choices. In some way you have chosen not to choose. And you'll find yourself looking like you're in great control in some way, but you're not in control. You're completely flimsy, in the wind. And if you ever reach that point of awareness, you'll reach where I am, in a certain sense, or where I've been.